All right, in today's video, we are going to discuss why you should never buy a new construction home. We're going to get into some concrete reasons. Yes, that is a pun of why this is not a good idea from a personal or financial view. And as always, if you like this kind of content, be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get into why you should never buy a new construction home. First reason why you should never buy a new construction home are hidden and higher costs. Typically, when you walk into a presentation center, the model home or the presentation center is going to be extremely well appointed and presented. It's also going to be decorated extremely well. So you're going to see beautiful art on the walls, beautiful furniture, the top of the top finishings. It's going to be very, very nice and presentable. When you look at a home to purchase, typically it starts at what we would call builder grade. So this would be the lowest quality finishings. If you want to go into more higher end stuff, you're going to have to be ordering tiles, you're going to have to be ordering better appliances, better countertops, better fixtures, you want to pay for extra trim. All this stuff can add significantly to the cost of buying a home, and these are typically more expensive than resale homes in the area. Another reason why I would never buy a new construction home is the tax burden that is built into new construction. In my market and in most of Ontario, depending on where you live, taxes can be 25 to 30% of the cost of homes. So that's development fees, land transfer taxes, and let's not forget the dreaded HST. Yes, HST is applicable on new construction homes. So that is money that you would have to recoup when you go to sell in order to make that a wise investment. A lot of times too, property taxes in the area can be way more expensive than predicted. A lot of times the taxes are based on just the lot when you go to look at it. So, the town or the municipality has not assessed it yet. The property taxes are based on. So there's a lot of hidden costs when you go with a new construction home that are a huge X factor, and taxes being one of them. Another reason why I would never buy a new construction home, very, very simply, is that it doesn't actually exist in the real physical world yet. So typically you are buying a home based on a model home or a presentation center. You have not seen the final product yet. Typically when you put a deposit down on a new construction home, the completion time can anywhere be from a year to 18 months, or there's going to be long delays. We live in Canada, cold weather is a factor. You can't pour foundations if it's cold outside. Maybe it rains a lot. We have a particularly rainy season. It's very, very difficult to figure out when that home is actually going to be constructed and what it is you're actually getting. Maybe the construction company or the developer that you're working with is a very small player in the market. They don't have the buying power to get the best quality work crews. They don't have the buying power to get the best quality materials. In a lot of these contracts that you'll see the builder reserves the right to purchase other materials if something isn't available. So the home that you're buying may not be the one that you actually get at the end. Call me crazy, but if I'm going to be spending, in my marketplace, $800,000 to $1 million on something, I want to know what it is I'm getting. I want to walk through, see, touch, and feel it before I'm forking over my hard-earned money on something that isn't even real in the real world yet. Now, tying into our last point is the lending risk that comes with purchasing a pre-construction home. When you go to get pre-approved for something, the lender will look at that project and give you a pre-approval based on the value of the completed product. So because this home doesn't exist yet, it's very, very difficult to say what this home is going to be worth in the future. Now, let's say you purchase a home and then, whoops, oh no, there's a global pandemic and housing prices spiked, and you buy a pre-construction home, $1.2 million. And then when the home is actually built 3 years later, it's actually only worth $900,000. You've agreed to purchase that home for $1.2 million from the builder. The bank is saying it's only worth $900,000. Who pays that extra 300 grand? You do. So you are on the hook for closing at the price that you agreed to purchase it from the builder. That is a legally binding contract. This is something that, wouldn't have been possible during the construction boom when the demand for houses was through the roof. A lot of that was just pure speculation. And if you're making financial decisions based on massive appreciation and house prices doubling every 3 to 4 years, having double-digit appreciation per month, that probably isn't a wise financial decision. So there's massive lending risk and exposure, and it can take you a long time from recovering from that. Let's say you've already given 20% of your down payment based on 1.2 million. You're already in for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we have seen people walking away and having legal liability issues from breaking these contracts with the developers and builders. Another reason why I would never buy a pre-construction home is the future value. I really like it when there's a high likelihood of slow and steady appreciation of an asset. So these are established neighborhoods that have a proven track record of holding their value over a long period of time. Typically what you'll see in developments is one development will get built, then a couple years later another development will get built beside that, and then built beside that, and then built beside that. It's sort of like, you know, the latest and greatest model in cars. When builders build a development, they're typically on point with the styles and amenities and wants and needs of the time. When people go to look at these homes, yes, they already exist. If they have an opportunity to get something that's a little bit newer, a little bit nicer, a little bit more modern, those newer developments right within the same radius of where your home is can really suffer as a result of these newer homes being built. Because there's a certain segment of the market that always wants newer, better, bigger, better, faster, all of that. Those new developments around what you've already built, especially if they're stylistically way more on point, can really affect the future value of your home. It's very difficult to be surrounded by the newest, latest, and greatest when you have the base model from, 5 years ago. And the last reason why I would probably never buy a new construction home is poor construction quality. And this is specific to developments. This isn't like an architect built home where you're working with a builder that only builds 1 or 2 houses a year with the absolute finest quality finishes and construction. They have all their own crews. These are like mass produced homes. Because the demand for housing went through the roof, the quality generally went down. This is why we have TRREB in Ontario, so you can make warranty claims. Poorly poured foundations that were poured with the incorrect concrete mix, electrical not being completed correctly, entire kitchen cabinets not secured correctly on wall joists. Roofing too, we're seeing like shingles not being glued down, no drip edges being installed, improper drainage and grading around properties, all kinds of things. And this isn't to throw developers and builders under the bus. Obviously there's a lot of great developers and builders out there. The quality has noticeably gone down in the last 4 years as the housing boom has gone up. So I think it will take a while for us to recover from that. I'd much rather that our clients get into something that is proven in the marketplace, that has stood the test of time but not too long, in a great neighborhood where they can actually see what it is they're purchasing. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully we dissuaded you from new home mania. Like and subscribe to this video. We have great referral partners for you all across the country if you're not looking in our market, and looking forward to seeing you in the next one.